I'm the coach. You're locked into the NFL on EA Sports. On tap is what should be a pretty good matchup between the New York Jets and the Minnesota Vikings. With that, we send you up to US Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. Standing by our commentators, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Coach, thanks very much. Spread between 4th and 6th Streets in downtown Minneapolis. We welcome you inside spacious US Bank Stadium. It can certainly get loud inside this building. And just a few moments ago when the Vikings were introduced, it was downright shaking in here. They're set for football as the Vikings get ready to do battle with the New York Jets. Alongside my broadcast partner, Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Godden. And as we look at this matchup, every time there's something different to focus on. So I'll just ask you, what do you see here in this one?
Well, Rembrandt, you've given me a pretty blank canvas to focus on, haven't you?
Yeah.
Where do you think I'm going to go with this?
Oh, secondary?
You know me well, right? In a game like this, it's always about the secondary. Can they handle the passing attack and make a few plays?
Seems like we were just starting training camp, but here we are in October, and off we go on EA Sports. This is taken at his 4. And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. So here's the Viking offense making their way out. They'll be led out by the veteran quarterback out of Michigan State. The former Spartan, it's Kirk Cousins.
Forget the measurables. His temperament, which is so even-keeled, often masks a burning desire to win and perform. This guy takes it seriously when he lines up to play, and usually he puts on a nice performance.
A first down throw for Cousins. This one taken in by Olabisi Johnson. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. A well-executed 22-yard gain. So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield. Now the first carry for Dalvin Cook. And his first carry, he loses the football. And it's scooped up by the Jets. And he's able to get it back to the 33-yard line. Well, he's going to have to shake out the cobwebs first time he touches the football, and he drops it on the ground.
So many times we talk about quarterbacks and taking care of them early to get them in the flow with safe throws, right? But with a runner, there is no such thing as a safe run, right? Right out of the gate, you're going to be in some traffic. Got to take care of the ball, and he didn't do that.
New York set to take the field. So they'll come up first and 10 now from the 33. So following the fumble recovery, here's Darnold. He's going to find his tight end. That's Chris Herndon. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
Now that's staying ahead of the chains. Really good pickup on first down, hitting the tight end there. Now it brings up a second and manageable.
Just found a hole in that zone. Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. Here's Darnold. Going to throw deep for the end zone. That's going to be caught by Crowder. It's a Jets touchdown. Jamison Crowder there to make the grab as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. And he's a little bit on the shorter side as a receiver. Maybe sometimes for the defense, tough to find the little guys, right?
Yeah, sometimes they get lost in the traffic, but usually what it means is that rather than just winning with height or even speed, they use their quickness to find a way to get open.
Well, tall, short, wide, skinny, whatever. There it results in a touchdown. Point after, right down the middle. And that makes the score 7-0. The long touchdown pass gets him 6 on a very, very tidy 2-play drive that time. Here's Sam Ficken now for the Jet field goal. This will be fielded at the 6. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. And you see Dalvin Cook and the offense heading back out. He's got to clear his mind a little bit right now. 1 carry, and that carry was a lost fumble.
Clear his mind, clear his hands, and just let this one go. Sometimes it happens. You drop the ball, got a full game ahead of him, hand it to him again, see if they can start to produce.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And last time, not only the turnover, but that turned into 6 points. They got to make up for that here.
You always hear about empty possessions, but some are worse than others. You can have an empty possession, pump the ball away, get yourself set to play defense, but when you turn it over, it changes momentum, and when they take it downfield and punch it in on you, that's a bad possession all the way around.
Yeah, but you're hungry to get back out there, aren't you?
You better be, because otherwise, it's going to be a long day for you.
Check curls, check curls, check curls.
On second down, Cook. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. 4 yards the pickup, first down.
And Brandon, you know that expression? He just does what he does. It sounds trite, doesn't it? But in this case, it's perfectly apt. This is one of the better runners in the NFL. And all he does is just find avenues, find ways to pick up key first downs and big runs.
Set the tone, defense, let's go.
Play fake, Cousins. Open here, Adam Thielen. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. 19 yards that time for number 19. So in Jet territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 41. From the gun, here's Cousins. He gets this one to Johnson. And he's going to get this one down to the edge of the red zone. Now after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. Well, he gets attended to. We'll step aside.
Oh, you got deep? All day, dog.
First down, here's the run with Cook. And just a couple yards there down to the 17. And the offensive starters for the Vikings.
For a lot of people, there are pros and cons to playing close to home in the NFL. But for Adam Thielen, it's nothing but pros. Grew up not too far from the Twin Cities, loves being a Viking, and is a really dependable third down receiver.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Throwing, Cousins. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete. The intended receiver was Laquan Treadwell, and now it's 3rd down. And quickly the starting 11 now for the New York defense.
C.J. Mosley is your prototypical Alabama linebacker. They'll come downhill and smack you, but they understand the game so well.
So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves them staring up here at a 3rd and 8. From the shotgun, it's Cousins. Open man is Treadwell, and he's got it for the Minnesota touchdown. Laquan Treadwell there to make the grab as his guys are on the board here in this first quarter.
All drives that result in points hurt a defense. But when they are the sustained variety, play after play, and they just can't get off the field and stop them, that can be demoralizing.
And a pause in the action because the booth, they see something that they want to take another peek at to find out if this was a touchdown or not. They had to go to the monitor, get an extra look. That's what the technology is for, and this touchdown will count. Dan Bailey now for the extra point. It's good, and we're all tied at 7 apiece. So this drive spans 7 plays, and it's polished off by a Viking score. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. This fielded at the 2. And he'll take this across the 25. Couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. And New York set to take the field. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Darnold going to lead the Jets up now, 1st and 10 at their own 27. Now the first carry for Le'Veon Bell. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And that'll make this a 2nd and 13.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. A shotgun snap for Darnold. Got his man, Robbie Anderson. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. 14 yards is the pickup there, and a Jet first down.
First down, New York.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Now Bell. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
From the 41, Darnold into the hands of his receiver, Anderson. 10 yards is the pickup, good enough for a Jet first down.
Now that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, a sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead area, so you may curl it a little bit wider just to get to that place.
And usually a tight window. He fired a bullet in there for the completion. And he will find his man for the first time, Demaryius Thomas. Give him 12 yards there, and the Jets have a first.
Well, this is where reading defenses and practice time comes into play. You've got to know what you're running versus zone versus man and how to run the proper route. And they just executed that one pretty well.
Darnold going to lead the offense up 1st and 10. And he's a perfect 5 for 5 here to begin the game. They'll go back to the ground with Bell. They'll be brought down on the 30-yard line after a gain of 6.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. To throw is Darnold. That one complete to Anderson. And he'll be out of bounds just inside the 25-yard line. 7 yards there and a first down.
Timing is everything, and they work on this cut all the time. They work on all the timing patterns, and this time it paid off for them. Worked him to the center of the field, cut it to the outside, ball's delivered, gets both feet down for the completion.
On 1st down, Darnold caught here by Griffin. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
Nice rhythm throw there on 1st down. He located his tight end, made it a nice easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage. Able to get 7 on that 1st down pass play. 2nd and 3. Here's Darnold. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on 3rd down.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It's way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
Here comes play number 9 now as they come up on a 3rd and 3. Again, Darnold. And it's caught by Herndon. And he's able to pick up the first down before he's tackled right at the 10. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Well, they've had a great, impressive drive going here, and that pickup ensures the drive continues.
And not only do you continue the drive, which is demoralizing for the guys on the defensive side of the ball right now, but you make your own defense happy. They're able to get a little more rest over on the sidelines while this one continues downfield.
Darnold going to lead the offense up 1st and 10, and he's 6 of 7 now on this drive. To the air again, Darnold. This one caught by Crowder. Showed off the footwork, but still corralled shy of the 5 at the 6. 3 yards is the gain that time, 2nd and goal. The 6-yard line, the line of scrimmage on 2nd and goal. This is Bell. And he's going to take it in for a Jets touchdown. A 6-yard touchdown run. And the Jets have taken the lead. And they're able to run it in. It started with a battle in the trenches. They won there, and they got in for 6 points.
And that's going to be a tough one for the defense to deal with. They've got to go to the bench now and figure out how are we going to slow down this running game, because on that particular play, they had no answer.
Extra point forthcoming. It's up and good, and it's 14-7 now here in the first quarter. So that drive, 12 plays in length, and it ends with a Le'Veon Bell touchdown run. Here's Sam Ficken now for the Jet field goal. This one fielded at the 5. And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. And they had to wait a long time to get the football back. Probably not what you were hoping for when you got an offense that's humming.
Agreed. What you were looking for is the defense get the ball back pretty quickly, right? Hoping for a 3 and out. So that didn't happen. You can't yell at your D for that. They've got to take care of their own business and reestablish themselves now that they're back on the field.
Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their own 27. They start the drive with Cook. The linebacker, C.J. Mosley, in on the stop.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. What I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. Cousins now. And his throw here's incomplete. Brian Poole that time there to get a hand on it.
When I watched that play, I thought about what my coaches had told me in the past. The biggest teaching point, get your head around. Locate the football so you can make a play on it while it's in the air. That's exactly what he did there. That was nice.
So after the 2nd down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. Working out of the gun, Cousins. This is Johnson. He's got it. And he will have a 1st down as they get him to the ground at the 37. Already, he's top 50 receiving yards in this first quarter. And he's got a 1st down. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Cousins gives way to Cook. And a 5-yard gain gets him to the 42.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. Cook. Call it a gain of 4 there, so it sets up a big play here. 3rd and a yard.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
They'll run it. Here's Cook. And he's got a 1st down as he's up to the 48. 2 yards and able to get the 1st down in the process.
I like his focus there because he wasn't thinking about breaking that one big. All he thought about was, I need 1. Let's go get that. Ended up picking up 2.
Cousins now to throw on first down. That's complete to the receiver, Thielen. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. That good for 21 yards on the catch and run.
Quarterbacks love slant routes because the receivers are breaking right into their line of vision, and receivers love them as well because they're getting the ball on the move and able to catch it and try and get upfield and gain additional yardage.
Cousins now already over 100 yards passing in just this first quarter. It's 1st and 10. Here's Cousins. It's complete to Diggs. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. 17 yards, first down, Vikings.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Ready? 54 Mike. I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you. Check nickel, nickel, nickel.
From the red zone now, Cousins setting up the screen for Cook. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. A nice little screen. They get 6 on first down.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
Six yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4.
Be a long day for you. Check 9, check 9.
To the air again, it's Cousins. This is caught. A first down for Minnesota. Cousins finding Thielen.
A little football 101 there. You just see the receiver try to run down the defender, meaning he goes right at him and really trying to move him a little bit towards the center of the field so he can put his foot in the ground and break to the out, to the sideline, and make a catch.
Come, baby. I'm coming, baby.
Cousins again. And that'll be caught by Diggs for a Minnesota touchdown. A 3-yard touchdown pass as they are an extra point away now from tying this football game.
A lot of people might call this backyard football. Sometimes just understanding who you've got out wide and who you're going to throw it to. Give him an opportunity to go up and make a play, even when contested. Looks like that one worked out pretty well. The trust factor in effect.
Extra point try by Bailey. And we've got a good one brewing. We're all knotted up at 14. So that one a long 11-play drive. And it all culminates in a touchdown for Minnesota. This one tied at 14 now as he sends this one away. This is taken at the 3. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. And New York set to take the field. Now, right now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, can't ask for a better start than that, can you? I mean, this is the way you practice it. This is the way you rehearse it. But right now, the play calling, they're locked in really well.
Darnold going to lead the Jets up now. 1st and 10, just shy of the 30. A quick throw out wide, caught by Crowder. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. That'll go as a loss of 5. And it'll be a 2nd and long.
When you lose that kind of yardage on a pass play, you often expect it to be a sack. But that wasn't the case there. They completed the pass. Probably would have been better off just dropping the football and making an incompletion as opposed to catching it and losing that kind of yardage.
On 2nd and 15 now. Darnold, and Anderson's got it. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
It's a gain of 4, and it's 3rd down.
An extra defender in the secondary for the Vikings here on 3rd down. Now a draw play. This is Bell. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th. On 4th down, here's Lachlan Edwards to punt it. Marcus Sherrill's back deep for Minnesota. These two teams all tied after 1. On 4th down, the Jets turn things over to Lach Edwards to punt it. Back deep is Marcus Sherrills. Good open field tackling there. A 50-yard punt followed by just a 1-yard return. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. The last possession, these guys were able to tie the game with a touchdown. Now they'll have a chance to move out in front.
Yeah, let's give a big assist to the defense who got the ball back. The special teams went out there, handled things. They've got it. They've got momentum. I know they're eager to get out there and put it on display.
It's a gain of 11 as the Vikings pick up the first.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of the yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another first down with that run.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Now Cousins lets it fly for Thielen. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on 1st down, but he couldn't reel it in.
One of the toughest things about playing defensive back is pattern reading, trying to figure out what they're doing. And on that one, they had to fly, just sending a guy downfield with the in route accompanying it, what people call a dagger route, trying to hit the guy underneath after the clear out. In this case, though, they're not able to get it done.
Yeah, they said forget the underneath route. They went for the guy on the fly, but as you said, incomplete. And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. It's a gain of 16, and the Vikings have the first down as well.
Partner, it's a lot of fun watching the NFL now, isn't it? Because when the big fella runs routes, it used to be when we were kids, he'd run about 3 different routes, and that was it. Now he can run anything and catch the balls we just saw there.
First down, here's Cousins. He gets this one into the hands of Dalvin Cook. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. It's a gain of 5 on the play, and it'll make it 2nd down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
Now this one to his running back out of the backfield. A gain of 4 on the play, and that's going to make it 3rd down and less than a yard.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
The offense on 3rd down tonight, a perfect 3 for 3 as they look to keep that streak going. They're looking at 3rd in the nose of the football. A 10th carry in the game for Cook. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. Got what he needed for the first down with a gain of 2.
Brad, what were they thinking on defense there? It looked like they were playing for the pass. That was 3rd and short. Yeah, it was an easy pickup because they handed it to him. That was way too easy.
Just looked like absolute confusion defensively. Not sure why they were in that set.
Yeah, I'd say you ought to have a few men in the box there.
They run again on 1st down. Cook. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
A good run got 7 on 1st. Here's 2nd and 3. A first run for the backup, Abdullah. And he will cross the 30 down to the 29-yard line. Pretty good job defensively. Thought he was going to get it, but they knew where that marker was, and they stopped him just short of it.
What it does is emphasize that strategic football and situational football is not just played on the offensive side, is it? Defense understanding, as you noted, where the first down marker was and making sure they didn't get there.
They'll run here. Abdullah. And he's got the first as they'll bring him down at the 28-yard line. 2 yards and able to get the first down in the process.
On 3rd down, that's a good job of situational football and understanding where the first down marker was and getting there.
On 1st and 10, Cousins. Johnson's got it complete. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
So 2nd in inches after that first down completion went just shy of the marker. Rudolph on the receiving end from Cousins. And able to get this down inside the 15, either the 13 or 14 before he's out of bounds. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
When the offense reads blitz, doesn't matter where it's coming from, tight ends know that they become a big part of the passing game because there should be an easy outlet when all those extra bodies are trying to get to the quarterback. A hot route, so to speak.
They'll run on 1st down. It's Cook, and he's going to get about 4 down inside the 10 to the 9.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. They'll run again. This time it's Abdullah. Trying to run inside, but nothing there. Nothing doing there as the 13th play of the drive proves to be unlucky.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
The Vikings on 3rd down. No problems to this point. A perfect 5 for 5. This will be 3rd and 6. Draw play. Cousins to Cook. And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. Give him a couple on the run as it brings up a 4th down.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
So Cousins heads to the Vikings sideline, and on is Dan Bailey to try the field goal. From the left hash, a chip shot here. Bailey's kick is good, and they take a 17-14 lead. That will go down as a 15-play drive, and it results in 3 points. So some disappointment?
It's funny. We had our conference before the game with the offensive coordinator. And what did he tell us? I just want every drive to end in a kick, right? An extra point, a punt, or a field goal. Well, in this case, I think it is a little bit of a disappointment because it did end in a kick, but that type of a drive should end in the end zone.
Now, after the field goal, Bailey will kick it away. This one fielded at the 5. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. Sam Darnold leading the offense out for their next possession. Been a decent start for him here in this first half, but bottom line, his team's losing. They got to fix something.
And it starts with him. He has to keep that little quarterback strut going right now to make sure that his team sees him as confident. Continue to try and up his game, but just let him know, hey, if I'm around, if I'm the one calling signals and throwing the football, just follow me, we'll get there. Sometimes that will do more to elevate a team than anything else.
See if he has that confidence. Darnold going to lead the Jets up now, 1st and 10 at their own 28-yard line. Darnold now to throw. Looking deep for Demarius. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. They were looking to throw, holding on the big right tackle.
That's real simple, partner. Keep your hands inside in the chest area. You're probably okay. You get it out on the shoulders, get them wide. Usually going to pick up a holding call.
They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. And that's incomplete.
You've always been very good about checking my math. Am I correct? That's the first time that it's been incomplete when they've thrown it to him?
Yes, he had caught every other ball coming his way.
So they feel like they've got something really good going there, and they're going to continue to go there until the defense makes an adjustment and takes it away.
Well, they finally made an adjustment there. We'll see if they can build on that stop. They'll get 3 out of the dump-off there, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
And some secondary help here for the defense in the nickel on 3rd and long. Out of the shotgun, here's Darnold. That's complete. It's Bell. And I think the ball's out, and the Vikings pick up the football.
The psychology of the game never ceases to amaze me because you would think there would never be a fumble from what we hear from coaches all the time, right?
And how much they practice not fumbling.
Practice it, preach it, talk about it all the time. You would think no one would ever turn it over. Yet they are humans out there running around, and we just saw another one.
Opportunistic by the defense. Here's Lachlan Edwards now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. Great coverage there, holds him to a 2-yard return following a 50-yard punt. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Getting set to go again as we look at the back heading onto the field again. The passing game, they've had more success there than the running game. Maybe something they game plan for.
How come they didn't tell us about it?
Because they wanted to keep it a secret.
We did ask, didn't we? But I think what happened in this one is they've realized that they've established the run pretty well, and teams are going to key on that. They thought they could open it up and have success through the air, and that's exactly what's going on.
Yeah, they've had success, at least so far here in the second quarter. Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their own 22. Here's Cook as they begin on the ground. And he got blown up on that play. Back at the 20. A loss of 2 there. 2nd down.
That's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. They run. Cook. Up past the 25 to the 26. A gain of 5.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the 2nd level.
The Vikings on 3rd down. They have been superb. 5 for 6 to this point. This will be 3rd and 6. From the shotgun, it's Cousins. And this is Cook with a grab. And he gets this up just shy of the 30 to the 29 before he's out of bounds. Give him 3 on the play, and that'll bring up 4th down. So on 4th down, Britton Colquitt on to punt. This is taken at the 18. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And the Jets will take over 1st and 10. This Jets offense heading back out there now, led by Sam Darnold. Been a decent start for him here in this first half, but they're losing. And I think as the captain of the offense, you probably always feel like you need to do more in that situation.
The best have always felt that way, and they won't settle for anything less. So right now, his goal is to increase what he's doing on the field, try to make sure his teammates come along with him, and he feels like if I do better, everyone will do better. And that's what we're seeing from him right now. Got to have a little extra determination.
Yeah, a little extra determination. He has thrown the touchdown pass. No interceptions for him personally to this point. Bell running on 1st down as he'll push forward for about 3. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half, maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
On 2nd down, it's Bell. And he loses the football a 2nd time. And the Vikings pick up the football. And they take possession of the football and have it at the 36-yard line. So the defense there, opportunistic.
It's nice to give them credit, isn't it? Because so many times it's more a matter of what the offensive guy didn't do. He didn't secure the ball, didn't cover up. In this case, let's just give credit to where it belongs. Knocked it free, made a big play.
And you see Dalvin Cook and the offense heading back out. A good job in the passing game, decent job in the running game, but really they've been more effective through the air. We'll see if that shifts at all as this goes on.
Thus far, it feels like they're calling this game in reverse. Normally you run to set up the pass. Here it feels like they're passing, hoping to set up the run and be more effective later on in the game.
Yeah, you can do it both ways. We usually talk about it in the reverse, however.
No doubt about it.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Cousins now after the fumble recovery. That'll be complete to Cook. Call it a 3-yard gain, and it'll be 2nd down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
That 1st down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. Another tote for the workhorse this afternoon. It's Cook. 2 yards on the carry there, and it's going to lead him to 3rd down.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stop that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
Here we go.
Now Cook, he's got it off the draw. And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
So out comes a field goal team now for the second time here today. He was true on his first. This a tough one from 49 yards away. And his kick is good. Didn't hit it all that well, but he got enough on it to put it through. And they stretch the lead to 6. It's 20-14 now. So they recovered the fumble, but ultimately could not take advantage of the short field.
Definitely a lost opportunity right there. I mean, they were in prime position to put 6 on the board. Ended up settling for 3.
Now after the field goal, Bailey will kick it away. This one fielded at the 5. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Le'Veon Bell and the Jets ready to begin their next drive. And ball security has been a big issue. You see the numbers there. He's fumbled twice already.
And whenever we talk about ball security, it's not simply how you're holding the ball when you run it. It's all the other things that you do. Is it in the proper arm, meaning the sideline is protecting you? Are you dipping a shoulder to protect the ball as well? And obviously, the 4 points of pressure to make sure it's tucked firmly against your body so people can't pop it out.
Darnold going to lead the Jets up now, 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. They'll start the drive with a carry by Bell. And he's upended at the 33 following a good pickup of 8.
Even though they gave up more than they wanted to on that play, it actually illustrates how well they've bottled them up throughout the game because that was his longest run of this contest.
8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's 2nd and a couple. To throw is Darnold. Into the hands of his receiver, Anderson. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. 4 yards the pickup, 1st down.
And the Jets, 1st down.
Darnold now 13 of 15 passing. That's good for 87%. It's 1st and 10. A shotgun snap for Darnold. He throws and he hits the slant route to Thomas. And he fumbled it. It's on the ground. And the Vikings pick up the football.
Whenever I see a team turn it over on back-to-back drives, fumbles on their last 2, I know one person's blood pressure who is starting to rise, and that's the head coach.
Absolutely. And when's it going to go down? When they stop fumbling?
When they stop fumbling and after he's assessed the game film, and only if they manage to win the game.
And you see Dalvin Cook and the offense heading back out. We're in the 2nd quarter. They've got the lead. The lead, though, not so much because of the ground game, because of their air attack, Charles.
So what they're seeing so far is the possibility of things loosening up later in the ground game. Through the air first, maybe they have to start respecting that even more as the game goes on, and then there will be running lanes to find later.
Yeah, try to get him more involved here on this drive, maybe. Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10 at the 45. A little jet sweep to start the drive. And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. but the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11.
I can't believe you let you play. I can't believe you.
On the carry, it's Cook. And some room to work. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. 12 yards there, first down Vikings.
Now this is an example of breaking down a defense, because in a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. Off the play fake, Cousins. And Rudolph has it, the tight end. He'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. A reminder coming up here at halftime, we'll ship you off to Orlando. Jonathan Coachman will have first-half highlights and analysis from a back-and-forth first half that we've seen. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. A gain of 6 there on first.
Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, you often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for second down, staying ahead of schedule. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. To throw, Cousins. And Diggs has it. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Kirk Cousins with 3 touchdown passes now in the afternoon. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage. And he's having a nice little first half here, partner.
And it's a first half that leaves us anticipating what can still come. I mean, 2 touchdowns already here through the second quarter. There could be plenty more before this game is over.
Here's Bailey now for the extra point. And the lead is now 13. 5 plays there on that drive. And it's polished off by a Viking score. Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. This is taken at the 3. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line.
Let's go.
And New York set to take the field. There was still more than a minute to go in the half. Time to try to mount a drive.
And I would think that they would have to. This is today's NFL. You got to push it whenever you get an opportunity. You can never have enough points with the high-powered offenses that you face. And analytics will tell you, try and score when given the opportunity.
We're going to start. 54. Mike 54. All day, every day.
On first down, it's Darnold. That one complete to Anderson. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. That's good for a Jet first down, a gain of 13.
Partner, he sold the go route really well. Thought he was going deep, then curled it back inside for a nice completion.
DBs love when they pump the brakes, don't they?
Yeah, that's really a whole lot of fun. It's almost like you said, listen, if you're going to sell the go, just go, and let's see who's faster.
Mike left side. Mike 5-4. Go! 54's Mike. 54's Mike. Check, check. One time.
On first down, Darnold. And he's got a man, Demaryius Thomas. Now the Jets going to use the second of their 3 timeouts, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down.
55 Mike, guys. 55.
Darnold from the gun. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The defensive end, Daniil Hunter, drops him.
Now, someone's been up to the task so far in this game. They are already up a couple of scores, Brandon, and guess what? I think they're just going to pin their ears back now and get upfield and get after the quarterback.
Been such an impressive first half to get that lead. Darnold trying to hustle everybody along with the clock moving. Darnold off the play fake to Bell. He's going to air one out for Anderson. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long way out there, but it'll be third down.
And you just know when that play call came in, their eyes lit up, because anytime you get a chance to take a big shot downfield, that's a lot of fun, and they missed an opportunity.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Out of the shotgun, it's Bell. And he'll take this one up close to about the 45. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts, as it comes with 22 seconds to go here in half number 1. Here's Lachlan Edwards now, as he's on to punt for New York. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And that one hits a little too close to the goal line, and it continues into the end zone for a touchback. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And the ball backed way up, so thinking with this amount of time on the clock, probably just sit on it, and we'll see these two teams go to the lockers.
Yeah, I don't think you want to overthink it in this situation. Either side of the ball, just go ahead and finish up the half and get on out and talk about it.
It's a gain of 11 as the Vikings pick up the first. So we've reached the intermission in what right now is a 13-point game. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much, and welcome in everyone to an abbreviated version of the EA Sports Halftime Report. Back and forth, we win in that first half. This has certainly been an entertaining one to watch thus far. So let's get right back out to it as we'll rejoin our commentators, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. And the Vikings defense ready to head back out there now. And for their efforts so far, they deserve a little defensive montage here.
I like that. I like how you recognize what they're doing out there and how much fun they're having, because that's indeed what's going on. Beating them to the punch just about every snap now, swarming, swooping, taking the ball away. This is a lot of fun to watch.
Opportunistic, right?
Very much so.
Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. Took just one play to move all the way to the 44 as they try again on first down. Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. That one good for 20 on the catch and run.
Not only have they completed a couple on this drive, but they peeled off some pretty good chunks of yardage, too.
Absolutely great start. Two nice plays in the pass game. Now can they continue to feed off that? Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. From the shotgun, it's a give to Bell. And he'll have a gain of 3 to the 33.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on second down.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. They'll go again with Bell. Looking for a cutback lane, but nothing there as he's met at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a third down.
Well, it hasn't been a whole lot of fun for Le'Veon Bell in this ball game, trying to find room to run the ball. I'm sure they're going to have to change some things up because he's so versatile. They've got to get the ball in his hands somehow and create some space because they're losing this game.
Well, defensively, you've got to key in on Bell, make him the focal point to stop him, and they've been able to do that.
And he has gotten better every year he's been in the league, always adding something to his game. One of the premier runners in the NFL.
And they just keep marching right along. First down on a pickup of 8 there.
One of the advantages of zone defense, as I remember it, is being able to see the play develop in front of you. One of the disadvantages, when they find those levels where they can hit you with it, sometimes behind the corner and in front of the safety, it makes it tough to defend.
Here we go, son. Check line 54. Line 54. Watch the slang.
Now a first down carry by Bell. And oh my goodness, he loses it again.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. A good down to possibly take a shot, and in fact, they'll come up with an empty backfield on 2nd and inches. Here's Darnold. That's caught. It's Thomas. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. It's another 10 yards on that one and another first down.
I think a lot of people ask the same question all the time. Why do we see so many slants in the red zone? Well, the windows are tighter. Everything's more condensed. It has to be quicker, and you've got to deliver the ball on time. Your biggest worry, ball gets tipped in the air, because if that happens, then it's fair game for the defense.
Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
The line of scrimmage, once again, the 5 as they get ready for 2nd and goal. Now it's Darnold. And it'll be intercepted. Picked up by the former first-rounder Trey Waynes. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. First possession of the 3rd quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
It's the Vikings' turn on offense. We get ready for their first possession of the 2nd half. Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at the 20. On the ground, it's Cook. Fights forward for only about a yard up to the 21.
Nice job by that defensive front there to hold him to a short gain on 1st down. Well played, I must say.
Yeah, only getting 1 yard. There was no room to run. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. They run it again with Cook. And an alley to run. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a 1st down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball, protect this lead, give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. Following the good run by Cook, here's another 1st and 10. And he'll give it here to his running back. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Let's go. Get your swerve on.
On 2nd down, it's Cook. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. No gain on the play there, so that doesn't help. Now they're looking up at a 3rd and 9 situation. The Jets will bring in a nickel set as they try to stop this 3rd down. Working out of the gun, Cousins. And that will be incomplete. So the pass goes out of bounds, but he was not outside of the tackle box when he threw that. He's got to be careful.
You and I both know if it's even close, they're going to give it to the quarterback. They don't want to throw that flag unnecessarily. So if you're just in the area, you're going to be okay.
Colquitt on to kick as he sends it away. 51 yards on the punt there. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The New York set to take the field. And they had a nice little drive going last time. Threw the interception in the red zone. Costly.
Bad enough to throw it anywhere, but that drives coaches insane when they're thinking about, hey, we've got a shot at points already. We're already in a spot where you're thinking you got 3 on the board for sure, and to come away with nothing, that's a really tough one for them to swallow.
Yeah, will they make up for it? Darnold going to lead the Jets up now, 1st and 10 at their own 17-yard line. They'll start out on the ground with Bell, and they'll blow that one up back at the 16-yard line. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's 2nd down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Again, it's Bell. Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. No gain that time, and it leaves him with 3rd and 11 coming up. And he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom, quick, 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 and what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Back to throw, Darnold. And it's caught by Herndon. And he'll get this one way up just shy of the 45-yard line. A big 3rd down conversion with a gain of 28.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. Darnold now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. And he's going to be stopped up right at the line of scrimmage. No gain there on the completion. 2nd and 10.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. On 2nd down now, it's Bell, and he'll take this one up close to about the 45. The 2nd down play not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there.
And this is why aggressive defensive coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
Throwing here on 3rd down, Darnold. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
Here's Lachlan Edwards now. He's been terrific so far. And the kick's away as he angles this one for the sideline. And this will depend on the spot as it sails out of bounds. And they'll say it sailed out at the 10-yard line. So they'll play the field position game here as a very nice punt is going to pin them back.
Yeah, it's almost like watching a game of tennis, or do you prefer ping pong? You know, back and forth like that? That definitely was excellent, wasn't it?
And now out comes Minnesota. This crew had to punt last time they had the ball, but when you've got a lead like this, you content to play the field position game?
You are to an extent, especially if you like your defense, because you have the lead, you've been controlling the game. But why put them in a tougher spot? You want to get out there and get something done on offense and maybe take command of this game yourself.
Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 from back at their own 10-yard line. A give to Cook out of the gun. And he's going to lose yardage here back at the 8. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11.
Check right, check right.
From the gun, here's Cousins. And this one hauled in by Rudolph. And they'll bring him down here right around the 17-yard line. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives them a much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
Here we go, here we go.
3rd down, Dalvin Cook. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. Just a gain of 2 there, and it's going to bring up a 4th down.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. Here's Britton Colquitt now as he's on to punt for Minnesota. Pulled in at the 24. A big kick there. We'll call it 56 yards on the punt. And that will come the offense as they take over. Now the Jets offense about set to take over as they head onto the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. They'll try and get the running game going with Bell. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. That sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to 2nd down.
But these guys got to chop into that deficit. They got to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
Check 55, Mike. I got you, son.
That is incomplete. He couldn't get the hook up there that time with Thomas, but now it's 3rd down. That pass just a little bit off. It looked like maybe he tried to force it in there.
Game speed, always different, no matter what you do in practice. Can't simulate it, right? So your decision-making, everything has to be a little bit quicker. Sometimes it can throw you off until you adjust.
From the gun on 3rd down, here's Darnold. And Darnold, he lost the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Here's Lachlan Edwards now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. His first punt, 45 yards. This looks good as well. It'll be a 51-yard punt that time. Now the Vikings offense gets set to take over here. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means they're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at about the 32. Now Cousins. That one into the hands of Thielen, complete. He'll get 15 and a Vikings 1st down. So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield. Now a run with Cook. And very little running room there. He did get a couple up to the 49.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Again, it's Cook. And he'll take it across midfield down into Jet territory. It's a 4-yard pickup there, and it leaves him with 3rd and 5.
Third quarter, and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
The Jets will bring in a nickel set here as they try to stop this 3rd down.
I got you.
From the shotgun, it's Cousins. This is Johnson. He's got it. The 20. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. Olabisi Johnson, 47 yards. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage. Still plenty of time left in the game, but now starting to pull away a little bit. Get some breathing room with that one.
And I don't want people to think that NFL locker rooms are cookie cutter, that everyone's saying the exact same thing in every situation. But I do know that all 32 teams have an emphasis on starting fast. Game, second half, no matter what. Whether it's first 5 minutes, first 3, whatever. This was a big score to start the second half.
Mike Zimmer's made the decision. His guys will go for 2. Cousins. And this is going to be caught. It's good. And that extends their lead by 2 more. So they elect to pass there on the 2-point try. Sometimes could prove risky. There it worked out.
Yeah, and I love how you bring up that it can prove risky, because if you get it intercepted and they return it, that's 2 points for the defense, but not on that play.
Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. This is taken at his 4. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. And New York set to take the field. They trail here by 24 points. Got to get going soon, you'd have to think, as they come up 1st and 10. Darnold going to lead the Jets up now, 1st and 10, just shy of the 30. Here's Bell, and he'll have a gain of 3 to the 33.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up, because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. They'll keep it on the ground. Bell. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down. They've called his number a lot this afternoon. You wonder how much tread is left on those tires.
We certainly do, but I always think back to one of my favorite coaches in the NFL. And he used to have a meeting with his running backs every year in the offseason and say, look, as many times as you're going to carry the ball, you should be able to carry it 1 more time, so make sure you get in shape.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect.
It's always a goal, and it's really nice defensively when you can rally to the football and make sure there's enough contact to force an incompletion.
Force an incompletion and force another punt. Here's Lachlan Edwards now, as they're forced to kick for the 6th time today. Averaging 50 yards a boot so far as this one's away. We'll call that a 49-yard punt with a return of just 2. And the Vikings now heading on to the field. And now you've got the clock winding down here in the 3rd quarter. You're 3 scores to the good. What's your approach on this drive?
Too early to fully commit to playing the clock game. Yet at the same time, you're also not going pell-mell like you would in 2-minute offense. This is what NFL offenses call 4-minute football. Take the clock out of the game a little bit, wind it down, but at the same time, keep advancing the ball down the field.
Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their own 18. Now Cousins here on the bootleg. Incomplete, but a penalty flag is down in the backfield. Let's get the call. So apparently some grabbing of the jersey there on the O-line.
Yeah, just look in the interior, and that's where the penalty occurred.
Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. That's complete to the receiver, Thielen. That's a gain of 11. Would have been a 1st down if not for that penalty moments ago. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
On 2nd down, Cook. And he'll get about 6 up to the 27-yard line.
That's a gain of 6. Brings up 3rd and 1.
3 down, 3 down.
So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his 3rd down play as we've played 3 quarters. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. The Vikings on 3rd down. They've converted 6 times and could use a 7th here. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. They'll run it. Here's Cook. And he picks up the 1st before he's taken down at the 29. They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive going.
Brandon, when a defense just simply can't get off the field on 3rd down, and we all know how important that down is for both sides of the ball, you often feel like you're just a step behind whatever they're doing offensively. And
one of the differences in this game, no doubt, 3rd down conversion, and that is going to be a story they'll talk about after this one. First down, here's the run with Cook. And he takes us up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. It's a gain of 11 as the Vikings pick up the 1st.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
1st seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
A couple of 1st downs have them to the 40 now on 1st and 10. They'll try to throw now. Cousins. Blitz coming, and down he goes.
Hindsight is 20/20, partner. Maybe they should have kept it on the ground again.
Well, it almost looked like the O-line was run blocking again. I mean, they opened up a big hole last time. This time they opened up a hole, and the quarterback got sacked. Yeah, they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. Cousins gives way to Cook. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for third down. Caught the defense off guard there a bit on second and long, but now you still have to deal with third and long.
Yeah, you do, but you feel pretty good about the last play, don't you? And maybe it gives you a little bit of confidence dialing up the next one, that maybe your team will believe in it when you send it in.
On third down, they run with Madison. And this won't be enough. A good secure tackle, and they stop him a few yards shy at the 46. Call it a gain of 5. Fourth down now.
I think we can safely say that those types of plays are the backbone of this offense. We know not every run's going to be a big hitter, but you know they'll take that type of result on each and every attempt.
Here's Britton Colquitt now, as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. And he gets it away, a directional kick going toward the sideline. And this will carry out of bounds. Where are they going to spot it now? At about the 18-yard line, it looks like. So out now come the Jets. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with him punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
Darnold going to lead the Jets up now, 1st and 10 at their own 18. A shotgun snap for Darnold. He's got Herndon, his tight end. And he's able to get up here to the 26. Decent start to the drive, but let's face it, they need a lot of things to go right in a short amount of time, down 3 scores.
Yeah, they're going to run their 2-minute offense here in this game, but this is for future games. Can they get better and be ready for the next time, hopefully with a chance to win?
That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves them with a very manageable 2nd and 1. To throw is Darnold. Herndon's got it complete. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. 2 yards, good enough for a first.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. Darnold. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone. You know, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
Back to the air, Darnold on 2nd down. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
And now offensively it's 3rd and 10, and I'm just thinking to myself, actors always say, what's my motivation before a big scene? Right now the play caller's thinking, what have I done before that's worked well that I can go to right now?
Yeah, because they were pretty successful in the first half scoring points. Haven't done anything so far here in the second half. Darnold now to throw. He throws and he hits the slant route to Thomas. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. 10 yards is the pickup, good enough for a Jet 1st down.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
They're not ready for this. They still playing soccer.
To the air again, Darnold. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Daniil Hunter getting him once again, his 3rd sack of the afternoon. And on that one, the protection just broke down.
You've got to have that leverage, don't you? We always talk about low man wins in the running game for an offensive lineman versus a defensive lineman. It's essentially the same thing in pass protection. Get lower than that defensive lineman so that you can keep your balance and keep him away from your guy trying to throw the football.
Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on second down. Now a draw play. This is Bell. A very good move, but for a short gain out near the 32. And they only get a yard back there. They'll be left with a third down and long.
Tough day, tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there.
Here I come again. Here I come again.
Third and long. It's Darnold. Caught here by Bell. And he's going to come up a few yards short. Brought down at the 45. It'll be a gain of 12, but it will also lead to fourth down.
That's certainly playing down in distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
They're already slim hopes are going to ride on this one. They'll go on fourth down. And here we go on fourth. Darnold. And it is incomplete. Adam Gase rolls the dice. It doesn't pan out. And the Vikings, they have the football now in excellent field position. Being just short of midfield, they decide to take a crack at it on fourth down. They don't come through.
Sometimes it's just showing confidence in your defense. You know that they're good, and they'll take care of you. A lot of coaches during the week will announce to their team, we're going to be aggressive, guys. We're going to go for it. Hey, defense, you got me? A little bit of a challenge to them to see if they'll pick up the rest of the team.
We'll see how they respond now. And out now come the Vikings. Been a very strong performance for them, really, on both sides of the football. The turnover on downs, the most recent example, and now, obviously, they're in a great spot here.
Yeah, if you're over on the bench right now, you're shaking hands with your teammate, you're hugging him, give him a little dap. Been a big, big performance for them. Now you just don't get careless. Take care of the ball on the way out.
On first down, Cook. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run. Got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
Saw through 3 quarters. No reason to lighten up now. From the 38, Cousins. And Rudolph has it, the tight end. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's third down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal, because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
Third and short yardage, Cousins. And he's got Kyle Rudolph. And they'll get this one to about the 20-yard line. He'll get 15 and a Vikings first down. He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on third down. Went his way. It worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they've scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
Cousins now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. Now Cousins. Over the middle here to Rudolph. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
I know exactly what's going to be said about that play from the defensive perspective.
What's that?
That's why I tell all you guys we need more than one tackler to the ball. He broke the first tackle. Luckily enough, there were more people there to get him down.
Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. From the gun, it's a give to Cook. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. It's a 3-yard pickup, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
But we always talk about good down and distance, allowing offenses to expand their playbook. Well, 2nd and 2, that means your playbook's wide open. You can run just about anything. But a lot of times, the play caller, he just looks down at his sheet, sees the short yardage runs, and goes to one of those.
They'll run with Cook. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2. Good gain there on first down. It keeps them in a running situation probably.
They did everything right on that play, didn't they? They got the leverage up front, good blocking, nice hole for him, ends up picking up nice yardage, stays in bounds to keep the clock rolling. They are in charge of this scenario right now. They want to stay that way.
And not in any rush offensively. And this is going to result in losing yardage. They're driven back to the 8-yard line.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
Well, they've been so good on third down all day long. Can they convert another here on 3rd and goal? Working out of the gun, Cousins. And he's going to go down. Sacked back at the 13-yard line. Quinnen Williams drops him for a 4-yard loss there, and that brings up 4th down. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
So now here comes the field goal team for the 3rd time today.
A 29-yard attempt.
And Bailey able to knock it through. And that will extend the lead out to 24. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
Now after the field goal, Bailey will kick it away. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. The Jets offense now works their way back onto the field. And on that last drive, went for it on 4th, turned it over. A good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on 4th down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here because if we don't get it, I don't think we'll give up more than 3, and that's exactly what happened there.
You think that factored in?
I do. I think that he had that in his mind going into the game, that I'm going to be aggressive on offense because I know I've got a defense that can hold up their end.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. At this point, down big, you'd have to imagine this defense are just going to sit back, blanket the field as best they can.
Yeah, this is actually the easy part of the game for them because, just as you noted, they can sit back, keep everything in front of them. But they've blanketed the field the entire game using a variety of coverages.
2nd down and 10, Darnold. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. He gets it to Thomas. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. That's good for a Jet 1st down, a gain of 13.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this 2nd half. Here's 1st and 10. Again, Darnold. That's complete. It's Bell.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9. Throwing again is Darnold. Throw complete to Herndon. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. You got the big lead defensively, willing to give him that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
The Jets on 3rd down. They've converted 5 times in their many chances thus far. This will be 3rd and 6. Darnold to throw again. Hooking up over the middle with Herndon. And he's got the first down yardage before being taken down at midfield. That catch puts him over 70 yards receiving now as he's got a first down.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to. Pick up a first down.
Check 55, Mike. Watch the flag, watch the flag, watch the flag.
From the 50, it's Darnold. Under pressure here, and down he goes. Sacked back at about the 43-yard line. Danielle Hunter, who else? He's in there for his 4th sack of the afternoon.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Now following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. Now Darnold. This is Bell on the dump off. Call it a pickup of 7, and it'll be 3rd and 10.
A gain of 7 yards. And it's 3rd down.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Jets football as we get you reset here. They face a 3rd down now as they try to find a late score. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. He finds his target. It's Crowder. And this is going to turn into another first down as the tackle is made at the Vikings' 27-yard line.
Well, we always hear about the connections some quarterbacks have with certain receivers. I think this guy has a connection with just about everyone. Didn't mind throwing it in there against double coverage to him.
Shows some confidence, supreme confidence.
Big-time confidence that he would make the play for him, and he did.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. He was looking to hit his running back, Le'Veon Bell, that time. But it's going to be 2nd down. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost.
Darnold completes to Bell. It'll be a 2-yard gain, and that'll make it 3rd down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Now they got to get to the line quickly. Throwing here on 3rd down, Darnold. And that is incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. So on 4th down, the Jets turn to kicker Sam Ficken. Right hash mark, a 42-yard attempt. Ficken's kick is good. And the drive will wind up yielding 3. Well, in the grand scheme of things, those 3 points likely not going to matter much, but I guess they get a little closer, a little more respectability.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been outplayed all game long, but like my mom used to tell me all the time before I went out, dress up a little bit, son. Make yourself respectable. And that's what they're doing here. They're just dressing up the final score.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This one fielded at the 5. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. And a few kneel downs should just about do it. Now defensively they do have all 3 timeouts, but very little reason to use them at this point. So 1st and 10 now from the 30.
Push him back. Push him back.
They start the drive with Cook. And an alley to run. Now this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on 1st down. Didn't get to the sticks, but that's an ideal carry there on 1st down, isn't it?
I mean, now you're 2nd and 1. Although, you know, in the NFL, even if he picked up the 1st down, I don't think it's a big difference because the clock doesn't stop.
Yeah, not like college.
Right. If it's college football, you want to 2nd and 1 is probably better than picking up the 1st down because in college football, the clock stops with every 1st down and actually aids the defense in that situation.
And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. That one a 1st down pickup of 8. So the final seconds have ticked away in this Minnesota victory. And it was their defense that led the way, allowing just 3 points, that lone field goal in the entire second half.
And remember the old adage, offense sells tickets. Defense does what?
Wins championships.
And in this game, maybe a championship wasn't won, but a game was by the defense, right? Held them in just a field goal. That's a heck of a job. I mean, when they went out there with that determination and a pretty good game plan, pretty good idea of what they wanted to accomplish. Just love the execution, love the tenacity, love the way they finished.
So that'll do it for my partner, Charles Davis, and the best darn crew in the industry. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. It's a win for the Vikings as we say so long from Minneapolis.